Good evening. Tonight we're going to do a class on some more strategies for dealing, with this difficult time that we're in. Some just some different ways that we can learn to strengthen ourself and our well-being. So, obviously, having the strategies to cope, and be able to deal with what's happening in front of us is what we can do to alleviate, the stress or suffering, God forbid, that we're feeling in a negative situation. And we need to manage our stressful demands, and we all have done this in our life. So there's a few ways we can look at coping. There's one which is called problem focused coping. And this is obviously means that we're we're solving our problems. And for instance, if someone is having trouble at a job, feeling overwhelmed, so they need to generate solutions. They need to weigh costs and benefits, and then choose a path and act on it. And sometimes, if for instance in a job, that might be to speak with the supervisor, maybe get a change in duties, um, finding new feasible work, maybe might even be looking for new work. um, and obviously people who use problem focused coping when they can, it helps them experience less depression during and after stressful situations. So here's some of the ways that people who, when they've needed to use problem focused coping, they've they said use these specific strategies. Concentrate on their efforts and on doing something about it. Doing what has to be done one step at a time. Trying to come up with a strategy about what to do. Making a plan of action. Sometimes we may need to put aside other activities in order to concentrate on something that's really, you know, uh, pertinent in this moment, relevant. And another one is getting advice from someone about what to do, someone who may have more experience in this realm. Talking to someone who could do something concrete about this situation is even a step up, because the first one is getting advice. Here, you're actually speaking to someone that can do something in this situation. So that's problem focused coping. The next way is emotion focused coping. And so the first one was problem focused coping is in a situation or an event that we can control it and we can influence. However, if we're in a situation that is beyond our control and we're overwhelmed by, God forbid, negative emotions, and we're unable to begin to take action, so we need to have these emotion focused coping. And especially if that's the only one that we can do in that situation. So some of this may have to do with behavior. Some may be cognitive, or like involved with our thinking. So behavior may be something that's distracting us, that's healthy, hopefully. Physical exercise, for instance, taking a hike, if it makes us feel good. Seeking emotional support from people that are close to you, like even receiving sympathy and understanding. And that's why sometimes when we just need that emotional, coping, and we go to someone and they're just giving us advice, we're not so happy because we just really want sympathy sometimes. And people who just give themselves like these pleasant activities, maybe watching a movie, going to a picnic, taking a break from the sadness or anxiety, that gives them more strength and gets them better equipped to act on their problems. Those are behavioral. Cognitive strategies are maybe positively reinterpreting the situation, and for example, like trying to learn from the experience or looking for something good in what is happening. It may just be acceptance, that we may just have to accept the situation at this moment, or the reality. Sometimes it may be our faith can help us, obviously. Um, with the just really just take a breath. Take a breath really helps. Just taking a moment out, and we have to